So, what happens when you take the crazy looking art style from Edda and Eddie, mix some Rugrats with it, blend that with Twilight Zone and Courage the Cowardly Dog, and throw in the art director to Chalk Zone? You get probably one of the best cartoons of all time, Moville Mysteries, boy! So, I know I typically cover video games, but a fan wanted me to review the series for its 20th anniversary, and I decided to do that after I got done with the previous project. Also, at the end, I'm going to be discussing some fun facts about Moville Mysteries, so please stick around. So, before I give a rating to each of the episodes, I'll catch you up all to speed a little bit about the background of everyone so you can get an idea of it. Mosley Moville is a nightmare fetishist who, as TV Tropes puts it, is the occult-obsessed high schooler who is the leader of a group of 3 or 4. Mitch is the radical dude who is a bit more chill, but can definitely be an unlucky person. Mimi is like Sam from Danny Phantom, but a lot more tolerable. And Phoebe is a weird conspiracy theorist who is apparently a less socially awkward Dib from Invader Zim. However, the series is a bit unique in that half the episodes are dedicated to other characters, which helps make the setting of Luigi Falls a bit more alive. The irony in the town named after a ghost text messaging system being alive is not lost on me, by the way. Also, since I want you to go into these episodes blind, I'm not going to mention any spoilers of these episodes, since all of them are kind of in their own way a story arc. With 26 episodes, I'm going to rate them on a grading scale, with the A's going to the best episodes and the F's going to the worst ones. Also, my style of humor is going to be missing from this since I want to be more serious and avoid mentioning spoilers as best as possible. To all those who wonder what my style of comedy is, let's just say I try not to hold my punches. Oh, and because I'm not a clone, I might obviously have different opinions from you, and that's fine. My view is that unless you're endorsing crime, you shouldn't be yelled at for what you believe in. So, let's start the show.
Here's where it gets weird.
Episode 1, Raiders of the Lost Jockstrap. As a pilot goes, it actually is pretty good, with the horror and comedy elements mixing just right. With a few complaints about the episode, but I do think the ending could have been a bit better. Grade B. Episode 2, The Telltale Recliner. As the first episode that stars a minor character instead of a major character, this is also a good introduction to these types of episodes, with the minor character usually having some kind of flaw that gets them down into trouble down the line. However, it can personally feel a bit boring, especially when compared to some other episodes. B-. Episode 3, The Day Rico Became Smart. A very good episode where the horror aspects get ramped up a bit, with little room for comedy, but at the same time, this is a very memorable episode outright. Grade A-. Episode 4, How Green Was My Lunch Meat. While the previous episode was a lot more serious, this one makes up for it in comedy, with a little bit of supernatural mixed into it. This is also the debut episode of BB, and it leaves a very good first impression. A- as well. Episode 5, The Moville Witch Project. Absolutely a home run. Like, this is one of my favorites, but you have to watch it blind as a bat, if you ask me. Grade S. Episode 6, Swarm Enough For You? Another absolute banger. Not my personal favorite, but it is an episode where the fun comes from watching it as blind as Helen Keller. Grade S. Episode 7, The Good Old Days. This one might be others' favorite, but I personally forgot it. However, I didn't think it was bad, but it could be better, or more interesting if you ask me. Oh, C- by the way. Episode 8, Curse of the Mommies. The first episode where you could theoretically get spoiled and still have a fun time with the teenagers getting annoyed with their mothers. It's mainly a comedy episode that does a good job showing its moral, and in a fun way. Grade B+. Episode 9, Hard to describe my feelings without spoiling it, but the episode was good, even though I wish the ending was a bit better, but I had to give it a B+. Episode 10, The Novelty Kid. Okay, so when you first find out about Moville Mysteries from people who aren't or are fans, this might be the #1 episode people are going to talk about. Another episode where you can theoretically get spoiled and still enjoy it. But, as for me, this is personally one of my favorites, because it is that memorable. Grade S. Episode 11, The Creep Next Door. The next episode, which stars BB, ends up him being paranoid by the goth kid. But the episode, to me, is a forgettable gem. One where I'll forget about it, but then go, oh yeah, that was a good episode. Grade B+. Episode 12, Crushed by an Angel. This is honestly just a filler episode for me. Grade D. Episode 13, How Now, Meowing Cow. An episode where the horror and comedy mix just perfectly. And an episode you have to watch blind since the horror comes from wondering what the heck is going on. Grade A. Episode 14, The Night and Day and Night of the Hunter. Another episode where it stars someone other than the trio, and honestly this episode makes a great entry into the series if you ask me. Hardly any flaws with the episode, but I personally feel it could do a bit more. Grade A-. Episode 15, Follow That Mo. An episode I think is forgettable. Grade D-. Episode 16, Big Toe, Big Evil. Another forgettable gem, but its more silliness makes the episode a bit more memorable. Grade B-. Episode 17, Mirror Mirror Off the Wall. Absolutely my favorite episode, but definitely one worth watching multiple times if you ask me. Grade F, for fashionable. But seriously, the grade is S. Episode 18, Pet Shop and No Return. Another memorable episode if you ask me. And they do the animal rights things well with Mimi because a mole is not very nice to his pets. Grade? I give it an A-. Episode 19, Something Fishy and Late Gimme Gimme Itchy Owie. A solid episode if you ask me. Though it only stars Mo, it also has his dad. Grade B-. Episode 20, Don't Touch That Dial. Another episode you have to watch it blind, but the mystery is a very solid one. Episode 21, Soldier's Soul for What? Another episode where it could easily be one of the best episodes to fans of the series. And for good reason, with the mystery, the protagonist, and the horror. Grade S. Episode 22, Just My Luck. An episode where the humor edges out over the horror, but the mystery behind a simple coin makes a very solid one. Grade B. Episode 23, A Hitch in Time. A more lighthearted episode involving Hitch, which has a little mystery, but the episode is more about comedy, and it's still good. I liked it. B- though. Episode 24, Gnome Sweet Gnome. An episode that can be skipped, but is still a decent episode in its own right. Grade C-. Episode 25, Goo on You. An episode that's hard to describe, but honestly could be either one of the better ones or one of the worst ones. However, the typical Green episode was done with the horror and weird charm the series is known for. B+. Episode 26, Scared of the Green. The very last episode of the series, and it's a decent one, with the horror and mystery being a decent mixture. While I think it's a bit forgettable, I had to give props where it's due. A-. I would love to mention more about the episodes, but I'm not going to be a jerk and spoil it. You have to watch these for yourself. Luckily, they're all on YouTube. But before you go, here's some fun facts about Moville Mysteries. The guy who created Moville Mysteries also did work on 10 episodes of Growing Up Creepy, 2 episodes of Geronimo Stilton, 7 episodes of The VeggieTales Show, and was in production behind Hey Arnold the Movie. The voice actors of the main trio, Mo, Hitch, and Mimi, all are very recognizable in at least one show. Frankie Muniz is best known for Malcolm in the Middle's main character and Agent Cody Banks. Dan Petronikvic is best known for voicing Jeff from the Total Drama series. Tara Spencer Nairn is best known for playing Perrin Kelly on Corner Gas and Sandy Wardwell on The Listener.
What's going on?
Get away, I'm not talking to you.
Why? What'd I do?
You keep telling lies about me.
Whoa, this could get dangerous. Here's hoping.
The original cartoon was in Oh Yeah Cartoons, based on the short The Boy Who Cried Alien. In fact, the short and the show used the same principal character, who is seen beamed up into a flying saucer as a nod to this. Despite having Fox Kids giving broadcasting rights for the show in the US, it never got aired in the States. I mean, the show never appeared on US television during its time. Are you kidding me? It was originally imagined as a kid's book series, even having a book version of what would eventually become the script for the first episode. On the topic of original cutting room floor stuff, Mosley Moville wasn't the original name for our blue protagonist, as it was originally Mosley Muldoon, and the town was Moville.
Hey, I'm Mosley Muldoon, but do me a favor and call me Mo, alright?
The original time slots for Moville Mysteries was near the late night time slot, which effectively killed the show's chance at start, which led to the premature cancellation of it during season 2, which was intended to go much further than 13 episodes, with some episodes having continuations, which, if you ask me, wouldn't have worked, but Only 3 episodes got a home video release, which includes episodes 2, 7, and 13. There have been 8 episodes which stars someone other than the main 4. However, Mo always serves as the narrator of each episode. And despite one of the main 4 being in the Ouija Falls trio, BB only appears in episodes where he is the main focus or at least a major role. A grand total of 4.